What's up, chat? Just wanted to make this video kind of just to reflect on my time here in Miami. For those of you guys that don't know, so I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in May with a bachelor's in personal finance and certificate in entrepreneurship. Fancy words for major and minor. And what I did, I also started a business my sophomore year of college, wholesaling real estate. I graduated, I immediately got in the car with my friend who I only met one time before, and we road tripped from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, all the way down to Nashville, Tennessee. We spent 2 nights there, and then we went to West Palm for a week. After that time in West Palm, we moved to Miami, Brickell specifically, which is where I am now. And I am sad to say that that time is coming to an end. And I'm just kind of reflecting on my time there. It's definitely allowed me to appreciate what I have and where I'm continuing to go and what I will continue to earn for myself. I think moving here was big for me because I'm genuinely living on my own. Yes, like I know living in college, you can also be living on your own, but to me it's a little bit different because I physically graduated and now it's essentially I'm here on my own dime paying my own rent versus if I'm in college and my parents are helping me, or I just seemed like a lot more structured there, where here it just seems way more free, where essentially the needle gets moved as a result of the work that I do. So when I came here 2 months ago, I've been here and every single day has just been about me working on my business, a split amount of time, probably more working in the business than on the business at this point, but we are gradually taking the time that we can to work on the business while still moving the needle by working in the business. And I'm very excited to see what the next quarter will bring. We're switching up marketing, which is definitely exciting to get my cost per lead down about 50%, which is just going to allow me to call 2 times the amount of people with the same systems that I have that I've been improving upon, developing my sales process, getting my SOPs and KPIs more dialed in. And I think all of those things as a whole are going to allow the business to continue to grow. So with that in mind, definitely super excited about what's to come. So specifically, point of the video, my time here in Miami, I'm nothing but grateful. And I think that gratitude stems from, like I said, the ability to live by myself, the ability to do whatever I want when I want to at any point. And I answer to myself. My schedule is dictated based on what Ryan Scher wants to do. So with that, the weather is beautiful, which is a given, and it's super nice in New York too. I'm going back to New York for a month, and I'm gonna do that, be able to spend some time with family, have some quality time. I got an office at like a WeWork type of situation, which is definitely exciting, so that way it's like I'm not too distracted at home because home's obviously comfortable. So by me being able to go to the office, I know, okay, I enter in here, it's work mode, and I can't go home until I hit a certain amount of work where I'm satisfied with my production for the day. With that being said, obviously be nice to see friends too, and just continue to move forward, push the needle forward, and work on the business. So kind of to look a little bit more into what my life's gonna look like is I have that going on, and then in a month I am going, after my time in New York, I'm going back to Madison, Wisconsin for a 1-year master's program. That master's program is going to be great. I've definitely teetered on the line between, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? Do I think it's worth it versus is it not? And I think there's more pros than cons in terms of doing the program. So kind of after self-reflection, I realized that this was the right move for me in this chapter of my life. You can make the point, oh Ryan, you can just put it on hold, you can work more on the business, automate things, and then go back. I know damn well that if I did do that, I probably would never go. So it's just like, let me just get it done now while I can. And I'm already in that mode of school. I mean, I'm not too out of graduating where it's like still fresh for me to be in a classroom and be in a structured environment. So the way I see it is I still have some friends going back. It will be a solid opportunity. My network will grow. I will learn a bunch of knowledge in a specific set that I wouldn't be able to learn if it was on my own. Or maybe that information is available. You could argue that for a way cheaper cost, but at the same time, it's not nearly as structured and you do not get the network aspect that you would get for being a Madison business program alumni. So definitely pros and cons there, but I think I'm going into it with the intention that I'm going to have an open mind, and I think that that's going to allow me to continue to be grateful and appreciative of the opportunities that come my way. And I think everything happens for a reason at the same time. So there's something telling me in my gut that there is a very significant reason that I am meant to go to this master's program. And I don't know if I'm gonna learn a certain skill or a certain set of information that's gonna dictate future business. I don't know if that's the relationships I'm gonna have from friends or partners or whatever that may blossom as a result of me being there this extra year. I'm not really sure, but it's something in my gut that's telling me that this is the right call, and I'm going to be very grateful later in life when I reflect, as I always do, that I took this opportunity. So with that in mind, it's definitely going to be fun balancing work and growing the business, because I'm still working in the business right now, but God willing, in the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to have some pretty key hires here that are going to help to move the needle forward with a lot more leverage. We're starting to assemble that team behind the scenes as we speak, so that's definitely exciting. So I think between that and balancing the classes, it's going to be an adjustment for sure, but I know myself, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know that this is something that I can do. So I'm definitely excited for that change. And most of my classes also are after 5 o'clock. I was able to work that out so I could still work the full day, be around for my team to answer anything, whether it's calls, slacks, etc., and then still do my stuff in classes, and then of course just spend more time on classes on the weekend, or on the business, whatever I need to do in that exact time. And I think what's crazy too is it's like important. I think you can set expectations for how you're going to act or how you're going to put your time into certain things, but in terms of preparation. But then as soon as you start whatever you're starting, and it's like the live action is coming in at you, I think it affects how you're going to respond and do those things. So I could have a whole ass plan right here, and then I start, and then it makes sense to do a certain aspect of the work in the morning versus at night, and maybe I thought it was going to be flip-flop, or maybe it makes more sense to do more classwork during the week and then work on the business on the weekends. So I think part of it is just going to be going with the flow, being adaptable, which is definitely a skill that I've been working on as I develop as a man, as an entrepreneur, etc. So I'm definitely open-minded, and I think that's going to also be good. And those are really my two biggest things. It's just going to be a huge chapter frame where it's also Madison, Wisconsin's great. Very grateful for the amount of time that I've had there thus far, 4 years, and this is going to be my 5th. But I know it's not somewhere I want to live long term. Being in Miami for the past 2 months, that kind of made me see that this is where I want to spend my early 20s, whether that's a year, whether that's 3 years, 5 years, even if it's 6 months, I don't know. And I think that's what's the beauty of what I'm doing and the opportunities I have, is that I don't have to know, but it's going to just motivate me even harder to bust my ass while I'm in Madison so that I can work to come back here. And I know that one way or another, I will be back in Miami, but I'm just using this as incentive where I have to hit a certain threshold in the business while I'm in Madison, while working on the business, that will allow me as a reward to therefore spend my early 20s here. So I'm using it as an incentive, and I think that's super exciting for me as well. I've definitely met some cool people so far while being down here. I've been pretty diligent about going on walks, which has just inevitably led to networking opportunities, even without me really trying. I've definitely met some cool people in the social media space, in the real estate space, just overall founders that are working on cool things. And it's just nice to be surrounded by other people that have the same principles that I have. And in all aspects of life, whether I'm home in New York, whether I'm at school in Wisconsin, there are other people that I align with, but I think here specifically, there have been a greater amount of those types of people. And I think that's definitely been something that I've been happy to experience. And yeah, that's definitely exciting too. So a lot going on. The way I look at it, it's just different location, doing the same shit every day. And that's kind of how I've been able to move the needle forward, because I've talked to some of my buddies and they're like, oh, how's Miami? Like, Miami's got to be so cool. And like, for me, I'm doing the same shit every day. It's just a different location. So for me, yes, I'm getting those walks in the morning, which will give me that Florida vibe, or I'm going to get food. And those are definitely things that, or maybe I go out for dinner on the weekend one night or something, where that's like something that I would be different versus if I'm in New York or if I'm in Madison. But for me, it's the same. Like, I spend most of my day doing the same thing, and that's what I love to do. I like to spend my day working, and I feel productive, and that's gratifying for me. So with that being said, Miami's been perfect for what I want, because I've been focused and it allows me to be focused here. And I think if I was home for the whole summer, I would be more comfortable, and I think that would allow me the opportunities to not be as productive, versus when I'm here in Miami. Yes, I'm meeting new people, but besides my roommate, I don't know too many people here. Yes, I'm meeting people, but it's like there's no, I don't want to call it an obligation, but it's just a lot easier to stay to myself and do what I'm trying to do, versus like if all my buddies are going out every weekend, obviously I'm going to want to go spend time with them. And I know that I should be spending that time working. And yes, there's definitely a definition of a balance. My work-life balance does not exist. It's probably 90-10, 95-5 right now. And I have my own principles for that, and I'm very happy and satisfied with that being the way that it is. But at the same time, there is time to spend times with friends. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going home for a month. I can take a little bit more time, because I didn't as much when I was here, to spend time with friends. So all in all, I'm super grateful for the journey that I've had here in Miami so far. I'm excited business-wise for what I've been able to accomplish, what I've been able to build and continue to build, and what I'm setting up for this next quarter. And I'm just going to stay locked in, doing my thing in New York, continue to move the needle forward, and then take that momentum into Madison and parlay that with classes, which is going to be interesting. Technically, the degree is to study to be a real estate developer, which I think in the long run is going to be super cool, because I'm getting a lot of those foundational principles. By me wholesaling right now, I'm learning a lot about just like underwriting, but also sales as a whole, where as an entrepreneur, you need to know sales no matter what you're doing. And even when you're networking, you have to be able to sell yourself and communicate and be able to speak confidently. So I think that this was a great starting point, and wholesaling is a great cash vehicle to stack active income. But I think that development is definitely a longer term play, where there's going to be opportunity there, whether I choose to pursue that full time, or I use wholesaling as a lever where I can source my own deals or whatever. I think there's a lot of opportunities. I think that I'll always wholesale. I love the model, and I've been doing it for 3 years now, and I definitely have it down. So for me to abandon that and do anything else would just be foolish. So the way I see it, wholesaling is going to continue to grow. I'm going to grow the team around me, build a culture, and that's why I'm so excited to come back here next summer, God willing, because then I can truly set up shop, get an office, and build a strong team in person. I think virtually that's something that will be done in the next 1 to 2 quarters, but I think then being able to transition once everyone's comfortable with the online model to then get some people in office, and you could truly just have that aura around all the time. I think it's going to be great for company culture. I think it's going to be great for productivity, and there's going to be a lot of positive metrics that are a result of me doing that. So I think with me being able to get the development degree too, and have that in my back pocket, be able to either do deals on the side or for tax purposes, I think there's just a lot of options where they can all align. And I think just life is literally a video game, and I'm spending my time constantly leveling up because I just fell in love with the process. And I think that it's, to me, the shit that I'm doing just doesn't even feel like work, because I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing. And I'm very grateful to say that. And I don't mean to say that arrogantly or whatever. It's just for me, just as a positive reflection, especially because I'm leaving Miami. It's almost as if like that was like a period of time which caused me to think about these things a little bit more. And yes, I journal often and I meditate, and I definitely have time during the day to put mental bandwidth on thinking about these things. But I think it was just something about this event that just caused me to kind of reflect on the past 2 to 3 months, the people I've been spending my time with. And for that, I'm genuinely blessed, and I look forward to continuing to sharpen the iron and move the needle. And I know I haven't been as consistent with the YouTube videos, and I definitely want to document the journey, and I want you guys to be able to, and even for myself, it's really it's a video version of just a diary in a way. And I would love to be able to see where I'm at in 10 years and be able to come back to videos like this in the very intro stages of me being on social media and kind of seeing all the growth I've had. Granted, if I was documenting me in my journey 3 years ago when I first started cold calling leads in my frat house bedroom, I mean, I've moved mountains since then, and I'm super grateful for that. But it's really just into seasons, and there's levels to this shit. And to be able to kind of see where I was to where I am now, to where I'm going to continue to be, and even for you guys, I would love for you guys to be able to see the same thing, where you see, I'm 22 right now, you see when I'm 32 and I'm doing the things that I'm doing and I'm posting the content that I'm posting. I don't want you guys to think I'm just some fucking guru that's just inauthentic and putting out bullshit. Like, I want this stuff to be tangible proof where you come back to be in an apartment, which is definitely nice, but to where I'm going to be in 10 years, this isn't chump change. And for you guys to be able to see that and be like, damn, like, Ryan's really authentic, he's doing the thing. And those are some of my intentions behind the content. So even if I just turn into something like this, where every week I just make a video just talking, whether it's that or I have more actionable things to show you guys, whether it's specific granular business advice, life advice, investing advice, fitness advice. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of ways that this can go. I've definitely reflected more about what I want my brand to be. And I think the biggest realization that I had is that I am the brand. So I think that kind of whatever I put out will align with that, as long as I think that I'm being authentic. And I think that's kind of why it's given me a lot of thought about how can I intentionally put out authentic content. So with that, especially with here on YouTube as a long form video, I just wanted to reflect on my time here, and I'm going to continue to put out more stuff. So you know the deal. If you want to like and subscribe, that'll be cool. If not, I'm just happy you're here and you made it this far. And yeah, I'm going to keep putting out some more stuff, and I hope you guys stay along for the ride, and we love the journey. Talk soon.